Good morning and welcome to DIFC Unplugged podcast series. Today, I have the pleasure of welcoming Yann Mrazek, the founder and managing partner of ImageQ and co-founder of Rethink. Yann, welcome to DIFC Unplugged.
Thank you very much, Khadija. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you. There are so much we could discuss today, and it's going to be in the context of two companies, ImageQ and Rethink. Could you first tell us a little about both?
Yeah, sure. So I first arrived in this country in 2005, 2006, and we set up ImageQ first as what was at the time one of the first structure optimization, wealth planning platform, really. And it was completely new at the time, yes, because there was no regulation, no framework. So we had to work with the government and the DIFC to help create this infrastructure, which since then ImageQ has been busy implementing. So working with families first to devise what they wanted to achieve and then help them implement legacy planning, structure optimization. And then the jurisdiction evolved, of course, from a tier 3 financial center, tier 2 financial center, and now a global financial center. We call that almost a super jurisdiction. And at the time in 2013, we decided to set up Rethink as a complement to what we're doing. So first it was the proprietary investment part, and then we moved to the regulated part. So the assistance to financial institutions to come into the UAE and the DIFC in particular, establish and operate. And if you put these two offerings together, it's quite a powerful combination today. It's the largest multi-fiduciary of its kind in the Gulf. It's a really holistic proposition. You have the combination of a corporate services firm, you have a private client team, which has been leading the market for 7 years, and then you have these ability to provide for regulated needs, whether from single family offices that would want to go multi, or financial institutions that come abroad because they want to seek the high growth we have in this region. Okay,
so it is a symbolic relationship.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what the market, the sophisticated market really wants. Yeah. So if I give you an example, we have this one family that came to us for initially legacy planning and structure optimization. So we sat with them, we listened to them, and we find avenues of structure optimizing with them. They implemented a single family office here in the DIFC. And then at a later stage, they came back to us and say, we have this investment function that we would like to professionalize so that we are able to attract more capital internationally and work with our peer single family offices from abroad. So then our Rethink team started to work with this family to set up a regulated firm and initially a real estate fund. And today we provide outsourcing services to both, whether the family office for legacy planning and asset management internally, and the regulated firm where we provide outsourced compliance, outsourced financial officer, tax, pretty much everything that the family needs.
As you know, both firms handle and work with a wide range of clients, including families who are looking to transition their businesses and assets to the country, to the UAE, and international companies who are looking to establish in the UAE and Dubai to maximize opportunities in the region, and others who are moving and expanding across different jurisdictions in the UAE, as well as many family businesses and clients who are already established in the DIFC.
Yes.
What's top of mind for them at the moment?
So this is a broad range of clients. So if I take maybe 3 themes for you, I would say legacy planning and asset protection would be one bucket. Another one would be holistic support, and I'll tell you what I think on that. And then there's the cost and operational efficiency. So these are 3 themes which are very important to people that actually want to act and want to engage. So let's talk quickly about the legacy planning, because this I'm very passionate about. I think you saw 15 years ago people looking at solutions that were outside of the region or not doing anything, which is even worse. Yeah, we know that we have about $1 trillion that is going in this region from one generation to the other. So if nothing is done, you have a potential destruction of value. So it's very refreshing to me that local families are now realizing that and acting and not necessarily looking at solution from abroad, but really being willing to be open to consider new solution to a jurisdiction that they did not consider before. And actually that starts with the DIFC, because the DIFC today is possibly the most comprehensive legacy planning platform in the world. But even some local families do not know about it. So it's our job, MHQ of course, the DIFC as well, to spread the word so that this really comes to everyone in the market. Maybe if you want an example on that, it's the foundation tools, yeah? So in 2017-18, when the foundation was introduced, a lot of people were skeptical. They say, oh, what is this? Is it a company? Is it a trust? Is it a fund? Is it a will? Well, it's actually something completely different, but that has some of these elements inside. And today, we see the DIFC leading the way in terms of number of foundations in the jurisdiction. It addresses everything from a legacy planning standpoint for Muslims or non-Muslims. It works. You see people talking about it, acting. So that is really very refreshing. I talked about the holistic support that people are seeking. And this is really a big deal, I find. It can be daunting to change your situation, to say, okay, I have this holding, I have this business, and now you want me to change that? Do I relinquish control? No. So we need to talk with the client, we need to educate them, but then we need to handhold them through the process and then be there on the other side to outsource for them so that they remain compliant at all times. It's new. So sometimes it can be a bit scary, but actually it's not that complicated, provided you rely on the right partner. And I must say the registry is always very helpful in providing guidance and feedback. So this, to me, very big deal, is this holistic support that the families want. And then another element is the ability, if you come from abroad, to hit the ground running. If you are in a non-regulated business, it's not that complicated, but when you are in a regulated business, what I find very unique in the UAE and in the DIFC in particular is the regulator not only embracing, but promoting, making outsourcing by trusted, locally based advisors like Rethink for compliance, for financial officer, so that financial institution can come here, rely on high quality resources in their launch phase, and that enables them to start with a lower cost point initially, yet while being highly compliant in an environment where this center wants to be at the forefront of regulatory compliance, etc. If you go to some other tier 1 financial centers, let's say UK, let's say Singapore, you cannot outsource as much. And that I find is a really powerful message. It's to say, come here, you can outsource a lot, you focus on what you do best, and our ecosystem will help you remain compliant and build faster.
Thank you, Yann. That is very insightful. Speaking about forward thinking and advancements, innovation is something that is very important for Dubai and DIFC, and we have been working on that a lot. And I know that this is something also very important for your clients. So what is it about DIFC's approach to innovation which is impacting positively your client?
So what I found the most impressive about the DIFC is that the center has always been willing to explore, to be proactive in looking at new solution by itself, sure, by driving innovation, but also by listening to the market, to listening to market players that would come and say, hey, we think that this could be improved. Let us show you how we think this can be done. And so it's a symbiotic, collaborative approach between the regulator and the registry, and on the other side, the market player, which sometimes have some decent input. So we've been working very closely with the DIFC for the past almost 20 years. It started with the wills, the DIFC wills, if you recall. The foundation is a very good example. The single family office regime is a very good example. All these have emerged out of a collaborative approach. But people do not necessarily know what Rethink has done on the regulated compliance side, where I think the regulator is very forward thinking too. So we had for a while a glut of authorization at the Cat 4 level, which was very frustrating and unsatisfactory for everyone involved. So rather than say do nothing, the regulator in some marketplace said, okay, what can we do? And as you probably know, there is now a test period over automatization or partial automatization of authorization of category 4, so financial advisory, which has slightly lower risk. And all this is now being automatized, and you have a lot of exchanges between the regulator and firms like Rethink and our reg compliance team on how this can be fine-tuned. And the result will be much faster way to authorization for this Cat 4 as opposed to before, where sometimes it could take as much as 8 months. So right now, I think the DIFC is on the right path to be a super efficient authorization registry, both at the unregulated but also at the regulated level.
Great. I'm so glad to hear that. Moving to another point, Yann, speaking about United Arab Emirates and what makes UAE and Dubai so attractive for your clients, both companies as well as their employees. Is it lifestyle, tax, connectivity, work-life balance? What is it?
Probably a combination of all of this, but two elements that people really put at the top, I found, or maybe three. One is the security aspect. We live in a world where there is a lot of unrest, unfortunately, and this country has done an incredible job at making sure that people that move and stay here feel at home, first of all, and then feel secure. We did a survey a few months ago with our friends at Lombard Odier, and one of the key takeaway of this survey on expat was that people were willing to stay here longer and longer, and in fact retire here. And that is a testament to the quality of life that you mentioned, sure, but it's also the security aspect. Another aspect that I found is the new super commodity for international family is privacy. We say a lot confidentiality. That can be misinterpreted at times. I think the value is if you are an international family, you provide your data to your regulator that has a best-in-class framework, but then you can choose not necessarily to have your data in the public domain because families are private by nature. So there's a compromise between I want to be super compliant, I give everything to my supervisor, and I know that this will be safe kept separately offline. So it's there, so it's compliant, but you do not necessarily have access to all the data in the public domain, for example, who the beneficiaries are in a foundation. You do not necessarily want that. And the third is something quite new. You may or may not know that the UAE is top 15 in the world in terms of foreign direct investment. That is sensational. Small countries are usually quite bad at this. So the only two that are doing very well are Singapore in Asia and the UAE for pretty much the rest of the world. All the other countries are large. Think US, think China, etc. So to be able to do that, that means that people recognize that they are also coming here to find avenue for investment, avenue for growth. A lot of the world today is either stable or maybe on the down in terms of value creation. This is a high growth jurisdiction, high growth region, and the access to deal flow in this region today is arguably better than in any other financial jurisdiction.
I couldn't agree more with you. I definitely see that these elements, security, stability, access to all the enablement are very, very important factors for companies to decide where they have to move and set up. And yourself, by bringing, family businesses, private investment companies, financial institutions to set up in the UAE and Dubai, you are ultimately contributing to the diversification of the economy of the United Arab Emirates and Dubai. So how are you enabling these companies to support the growth further?
So we try to do that from a multi angle, maybe for context. Yeah, MHQ and Rethink are UAE firms. My wife at times gets mad at me because we do not put on our website that I'm from Swiss origin, which is true. But at heart, we are a UAE firm. So our vested interest is fully aligned with the one of the country, of the Emirate, and of the DIFC in terms of, hey, we want to improve this ecosystem and protect it. And we want to tell the world that we have a story and that maybe it's something that is positive for them. So understanding that where we are, because we believe that it's important that local players actually promote local solution as opposed to something from a lesser jurisdiction abroad, we work at this multi-angle, yes? So you would work first locally to try to develop and improve the regulatory framework. We talked about the foundation. We worked with you and your team on the first private trust foundation, acting as a trustee of one or several trusts. This is groundbreaking. It had never been done here, and positively, it's actually non-supervised. So where, for example, in Singapore, you would have to have some supervision on what is essentially a proprietary investment vehicle. Here, no. Here, it's completely carved out, and that is very positive for families. We are on the road a lot with the DIFC sometimes, but often alone. We are in London. We are in all over the financial center to educate the market. It's part of our mission. It's part of what we need to do. But interestingly, 2/3 of the education we do is actually here locally, because 1/3 of our clients luckily are Emiratis for legacy planning, and that is very refreshing. When I arrived in this country, we had no Emiratis. It took time. And today we have offices in the DIFC, yes, but we still have our office on the other side in Dera. And I know this is important for patriarchs, yeah, when they say, how long have you been here? And I say, well, 18 years, and say, where's your office? Dera. Okay, and then maybe these people are not so bad after all. Other things that we do, of course, is the lobbying that we do, sometimes together, trying to explain the changes and identify opportunities for adjustment and improvement. And then it's, of course, accompanying our clients. So trying to make it easy for them. I mentioned the holistic. It's not enough if you go to someone to advise you. It's not enough if you go to someone to structure something for you. And it's not enough if you go to someone just to tick a box on an outsourcing basis. We at MHQ and Rethink believe that you need to have everything on one platform. You need to have the advisor. You need to execute. You need to outsource. And you need to be able to grow with your client. I'll give you an example. One firm came to us for authorization of a Cat 3C fund manager. Great, fantastic mandate. They hit the ground running. They use our team on outsource compliance, outsource financial officer, tax. And at some stage, the principal comes to me and says, I'm sorry, but we will need to hire, we are growing too fast, so I want to hire people, so I will have to reduce your mandate. And I looked at him and said, that's wonderful. That's great. You know why? Because we actually have an HR and recruitment function so that we actually helped this firm not only grow in the first phase, but then recruit people. We tested these people, we implemented them, and we remained there as a function. So at all stage of growth of our clients, we are there for them, like the DIFC is. And it's not just selling them a one-time thing, it's a recurrent relationship, it's a long-term relationship. And most of MHQ and Rethink clients, like I suspect DIFCs, are there for the long run.
It's amazing, Yann, to see how you are supporting clients, not only at the time of its inception, but also how they can grow over time. Mm-hmm. To be very honest, I really enjoyed our discussion. And thank you. Thank you personally, as well as to MHQ and to Rethink for all your valuable contribution. We really thank you and appreciate all your efforts.
Yeah, also I'm equally grateful. And let us finish on that. 20 years now of the DIFC, and who would have thought that today it would be amongst the top 5 or 6 financial center in the world. And it's very refreshing because when I'm on the road and I go to Switzerland, I go to the US, I go to the UK, 10, 15 years ago, people were suspicious. You know what they are today? they think they are missing something if they are not here. And that is a testament to your hard work, to the regulators' forward thinking, but also to all the ecosystem which has contributed and will continue to contribute to make this a very special place.
Absolutely. It makes us also personally very proud because we've been also throughout this journey of the DIFC. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Khadija. Thank you.